So this is turning out to be a completely Luke boat. What the heck? Why is nothing working? Thought I bought something nice. It's got nice stuff, but it's a freaking mess.
It's just a disaster of wires.
Just like the Southern girl. Drinking 4 inches of water in the back of the boat. So far, not happy with my purchase. Well, it's another beautiful day here. It's like 26 degrees, supposed to snow, and I'm going to pick up crab pot zincs because the date is fast approaching. Crab season opens April 1st, which doesn't mean we're gonna go crabbing April 1st, but it does mean I wanna be ready to go crabbing by April 1st. That's the deadline for me. So we're gonna go pick up zincs, which is a big expense, and then I have a lot of propane back there because we are tearing through propane trying to keep the Desperado heated up inside so we can do fiberglass work. Riley's in the boat working. Here's the man with the zincs. One of the things I have to do before I go crabbing again is go and do all the registration for my boats and whatever else. That means I have to go into a DNR office, Department of Natural Resource, the State Department. I made an appointment online, I need an appointment now, and accidentally went to the wrong location. It isn't even open today. Somehow. So I'm rushing over there. It's an extra half an hour. This place is now an hour from my house. They give you a 30-minute time slot. I will be there with about 10 minutes to spare. So I'm hoping they let me in, but with my experience, sometimes they just find a reason to send you home anyway. Here's hoping. We're about to find out. I didn't actually think that was gonna work, but it did. Got it done. Guy was super cool. Shout out Bel Air DNR guy. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Well, tomorrow, I have to take my refrigerator trailer that you guys see at the crab stand up to Thermo King. I'm thinking about getting a new refrigeration unit put on it, or at least see what it costs to get this one fixed. I can't keep it running. I don't know what the deal is. I'd love to get a new one, but I don't know how much they cost. I'm gonna have to figure that out tomorrow, or see if they could fix this one again. The problem is every time I get it fixed, it has to go back. It keeps breaking. I also just put 13 boxes of very heavy zincs in the back of here. So I'm gonna move these into my shed again. And then tomorrow we're headed to Thermo King to see what they got to say about a new unit. I know this trailer's an old kind of piece of junk. It's not really that bad, but it's kind of old and junky, and people will probably be like, you're crazy, why would you put a new unit? Well, it's what I got. I don't have the money to go buy a brand new trailer right now, or even a decent used one. That's what I gotta work with, and hopefully we can get some more life out of it. Also, we were supposed to start zinking crab pots today, but it's so cold again. It was like 20 degrees again this morning, and I called it off because they ain't gonna get nothing done when it's 20 degrees out. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it either. So you gotta move your fingers and twist wire. It sucks. We have everything ready to go overboard by April 1st. We'll be okay. All right, taking the trailer up to Thermo King. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart on the way. Should be fine. Probably needs new bearings one of these days, but hopefully they last another few miles. Look at this. It's 24 degrees outside. It's too cold to be thinking about crabs right now. But it's fast approaching. And the way it is in Maryland, it'll be 24 degrees and then it'll be 75 degrees the next week, and the crab season will be on. So gotta start thinking about these things. Actually, a couple months ago, I should have, but I didn't, so. All right, here she is at Thermo King. We'll see what they gotta say. That's really what I need. That thing is awesome. That's the Cadillac version of what I got. Mine's the Chevy Cavalier version of that, I guess you could say. Mine's a well-built trailer, but I've had to do a lot of work to fix it. That thing's all aluminum frame. It's got a freaking new unit on it. It's slick, man. But I bet it's probably like 40,000 bucks. So you guys know John, the guy that owns the marina here. Well, he's going on a grand tour adventure in his van. He's been spending the last 2 months building this van. This is like a 2001 Dodge 3500 15 passenger van. I mean, it is exactly what you'd think, except he's converted the back into a camper, complete with bookshelf, puffy balls, lights. That turns into a bed and everything. He's also made an entire rig to take his boat with him. So he's got his boat called the Puddle Duck that is a 16-foot Skidoo that goes on the top with a trailer thing, and that slides in the receiver so he can have that. His engine is in here. The trailer, well, the box comes off of that, and then this piece of pipe or trailer, he turned into a boat trailer out of a ladder, slides in there and turns into a boat trailer that the boat goes onto that he can tow behind the van. I mean, this is really quite the thing. He's got all his flies for fly fishing, his fly rods, stove. It's quite nice, but he's going 4,000 miles each way to Baja, Mexico, and then going to some Grateful Dead shows on the way home. Everybody wish John luck. Hopefully we don't have to go to Mexico looking for him. He's excited. I'm excited. Hope he doesn't get kidnapped or something in Mexico. The biggest problem I see with this rig is that it just looks like you have money. The whole internet is wishing you good luck.
I did it. Got one more in.
Today I'm in North Carolina, going bluefin fishing on Rochambeau with my buddies from Dark Seas here. They're all the way from California.
What's taking you so long?
Holy crap.
God. Keep going.
Yeah, I didn't know too.
Yeah, look at that thing.
The harbors are gonna be busy.
Check that out. That's what I need. Crab pot rocking chair. I like that. Well, it's another beautiful day. I just got back from tuna fishing in North Carolina last night. We were back to the races. I got AJ and Randy over at my house working on crab pots. They were putting zincs in crab pots. Right now I am running down to the marina to pick up a power washer because some of the crab pots need power washed. Give you guys a rundown on zinc and crab pots, and then I have some running around to do. I was doing some paperwork this morning. I'm gonna have to take the new boat down to the marina, get that in the water because we're gonna have to use that for some filming I have coming up this week. And I want to do a little bit of work on that. My trip to Florida is fast approaching. I will leave about the middle of March and I'll be gone for a little while. It's our trip to the Keys, like Lindsay and I's last bug out before crabbing season starts. We are grinding here. Every single crab pot I own needs a new zinc. It needs to be power washed and needs a fresh coat of paint. Plus we have to get the Southern Girl ready to go. Plus move all these other projects forward as we're doing it. So, oh, and we also have to get the new boat, the center console, ready and outfitted to go to Florida because I don't want to have to be messing with it while I'm down there. I got the power washer out. Last time we had to mess with these, it was because it was disaster and my whole rig got dirty. But I'm trying to remember if it was this one or this one that worked better. One of them was working better than the other. I don't know though. I'm gonna go with this one. This one's actually mine. This one's technically the Marina's, but they were using mine forever, so they're just kind of community power washers, but hoping this one works. This one's a belt driven, so it's got a big pump with a couple belts set on it. This one is a direct drive, so this one's a little smaller. I actually like belt driven ones better, but this one's easier to get in the truck. I usually either run an AR pump or a Kranzel on most of my power washers, and trust me, I know power washers pretty well because I've broken a lot of them. I like a Honda 13 horsepower engine. I like a belt driven pump. Kranzels, ARs, they're all right. They get the job done. And I run salt water through all my power washers, which you're not supposed to do. But, so I know which ones break. They all break. Do you guys remember how I took the trailer, the refrigerator trailer from the crab stand up to Thermo King? So we have three options at this point. Option number one is to fix the unit that's on there that is 20 years old, but pretty much the same as a modern unit. Like, I asked him, I was like, you know, what's the difference? He was like, honestly, they haven't changed much. It's just kind of some valve sets and things like that. He said, it's pretty much the same thing. I said, all right, that's $4,000 to get it fixed, which seems like a lot for a 20-year-old unit. Option number two is to replace the entire unit with the same unit, but a modern one. That is $13,000. The fourth option is to buy a new trailer that they have up there, lightly used, but it's new enough. It's only like a year old. It's got a new unit. It's really nice. It's got a side door that I really like. It's the same size. I haven't seen inside of it, but it looks nice. It's a lot lighter. That's $27,000. A little bit of a conundrum here. I've been trying to upgrade my equipment as I can over the last couple years. It's like equipment that I can't afford to not work. So if you're gonna spend money on stuff, you gotta spend it where you can't afford to lose it. I don't know what to do, really. There's a good chance I'm gonna have them fix the one that's already on there, because apparently it's not much different at all from the other unit, and if you give them $4,000 bucks, they're replacing like half of the stuff on that unit. I don't know. I feel like it's always breaking though, and I'm always taking it in and they're always coming out and it's always breaking. But part of the reason is because I used it on continuous duty like all summer. So it basically ran for 6 months straight. I mean, it is supposed to be pretty continuous duty, but not that continuous duty. This year I'm hoping to have a walk-in so that I can store the crabs and only take what I need to take to the crab stand up as I need it. So the trailer shouldn't have to run continuously. 13,000 bucks is a lot of money for a unit that is basically exactly the same. Like, it's not like it gets colder. It's not like it is more efficient. A new fridge would be really nice. I've seriously considered it. The one I have doesn't really have any issues. I mean, it's pretty structurally sound. I just put a lot of work into it last year. I know I could get a few more years out of this thing. It's like, I don't know that it's gonna make a $30,000 difference to buy a brand new trailer this year. I just got this boat. It's my 21C Pro. New to me, it's a 2003, but it's got a newer engine and way too fancy for me. I'm used to using like crappy boats with zero technology. So in addition to filming and doing all that kind of stuff with this boat, I'm going to take it to Florida this year, down to the Keys. So it needs a little bit of work done here and there, but I'm just trying to get it in the water, get it tied up to the dock so that later this week when Riley's around, we can come down and rewire a bunch of this thing and replumb some of the pumps and things like that. We also are going to need it to film some stuff I got in mind here this week. I'm just trying to get this in the water while it's nice out and hopefully it doesn't sink, because last time I put it in and everything was great and then it took on a load of water. I think it was coming in through the raw water pump and I think I fixed that, so we're gonna see. Shoot, I unhooked the boat and like forgot that I don't even know what I was thinking. Like, usually there's just somebody here to like, I don't know. I don't know why I unhooked the whole thing. It just started floating off the trailer. What the heck? That was dumb. I almost lost it right off the jump. All right. What the heck? Why is nothing working? I know I turned this battery switch on. Okay, battery switch is on. Why is it not working? What the heck? It's off to a good start. Good, we're taking water on too. It's awesome. I guess we unhooked the battery last time. It was pretty thoughtful of us. I guess I just forgot. Yeah, this boat, unfortunately, I'm finding has some of the same problems that drive me insane about the Southern Girl on the other side of the Weibo. And I'm low-key really bummed out that this boat has those issues that I didn't really process before buying it, like an idiot. The wiring's a mess. So it's got like some stray current, so it does weird things. Radio's always turning on, like gas gauge doesn't work. It's a mess. We gotta clean it up. But also, I suspect because it's got this new engine that hangs further off because of the jack plate. Dude, it takes on water even though there's freaking scuppers in or check valves in there. You got to plug the scupper holes, which is like whatever, but that really drives me nuts. That chaps my ass about the Southern Girl heavy. So I'm just gonna have to deal with it or figure out a solution, I guess. Why is this not working? Well, it turns out that that battery that's new is so dead. It's got 5 volts and I can't even get it to boost the battery enough to get it to start. Had it on here for a while, cooking the battery, and you hit it and it just clicks and just everything on the boat electric starts going completely haywire. So this is turning out to be a completely Luke boat right now. I thought I bought something nice, and it is nice, got nice stuff, but it's a freaking mess. Like, look under here.
It's just a disaster of wires.
And we have the stuff to fix it, but also, check this out, dude. Just like the Southern Girl, freaking 4 inches of water in the back of the boat. So far, not happy with my purchase. It's mine now, gotta deal with it, I guess. I know that like, these are all stupid solvable problems, so it's like not that big a deal. It's literally a dead battery, but I'm just frustrated, so I'm blaming it all on the boat right now. My new purchase. All right, as you can see, this battery is so dead, it has 0% charge on 30 amp. These just fell off, so I had to reconnect these. I'm gonna try to jump another battery to this one to trick this into thinking this has enough juice to charge, to try to charge it. Since this battery doesn't have enough juice to even trick the charger into charging, a trick you can do is connect another battery that has some juice to another one, and then the charger will pick up, oh, it's got at least like 12 volts or something, and then it'll start charging. Because this thing will not charge unless it senses the battery already has voltage, or else it doesn't know to charge. So you just got to trick it. And I don't have any jumper cables, so I just got wrenches here. Basically just putting these together, try to get the charger to kick on. I don't know if this is safe or whatever, but like, we're gonna try it. All right, it's a new day. I'm over it. I charged the battery. Battery's back in the boat. We're gonna try this again. Put the boat in the water, Hopefully it starts. I was just aggravated. I'm human. It is what it is. I got the boat. I haven't got to use it. It's been cold, nasty, rainy weather. I was complaining about it. There she is. She started up and everything. It's a good looking boat. Gotta take it for a rip, you know? All right, I'm happy with my purchase. This thing's so sick. This thing's awesome. It rips too. It's pretty fast. Just imagining myself out there fishing and filming and doing whatever else. It's awesome. Good looking boat, if I do say so myself. I will say I miss being on the water. That like little rip and slickers. I'm ready. I'm ready to go crabbing. I like to be a little warmer, but I'm ready. Let's get it. All right, well, it's the time of year where I am gonna make my annual journey all the way to Florida Keys, which is, I don't know, 1,200 miles, 1,300 miles, something like that. I like to be able to put a cap on my truck. Last year we ended up having to sleep in it because it was pouring down rain. We couldn't sleep in the tent. And it's also just nice to keep all the stuff in. Problem is, I do not have a cap that fits my 2014 F-250. However, I do have a cap that fits my 2008 Toyota Tundra. So here's that cap, and here's the adapter that I made last year for our trip that allows that to fit, I mean, just perfectly. Watertight, I'm just kidding. It's not really any of those things. I'm gonna try to fix the adapter so it's maybe slightly more watertight than it was last year because we did get a little wet. It's very heavy. We gotta get it onto the truck first. Homemade tripod that's made out of a bow rail for a pontoon boat.
Now, which way is the front? I guess that's the front.
This was built out of spare parts from the Dora Lind build.
Hey, it looks like a nice board.
Some treasure. It's got like 5 deck screws to hold the whole thing together.
This is just video evidence for why your cap's gonna be the side of Mountain Road.
Come on now. I'm hoping to at least make it to 100.
100?
The road. Great. Step 1. Now we gotta get the cap, which is really light. We'll sketch. We're not going far, like 2 miles. Yeah, I must have lagged it. What were those lags doing in the thing? And I was like, oh. I think I ran out of clamps and just lagged it to the truck. That ain't going nowhere. It would have gone somewhere, but after I said that, it's not going anywhere. It's all right to be jealous. Maybe one day you'll have a cap and an adapter that looks as nice as mine, Riley. But one of the major improvements I would like to make to my already pretty glorious masterpiece here is to put a eye thing in the center on the top so that hopefully next time we can get this thing on and off a lot easier with maybe a chain fall, maybe a bobcat that doesn't run. Hopefully not our backs though. But I gotta find center because this thing's kind of cattywampus and extremely heavy. It's got these boxes, which are super awesome. And probably a couple mice living in here as well. So I don't know, I guess just try to kind of figure out like, I mean center is like here on the boxes, so that's probably pretty good.
That's what I said, center.
Yeah. What's the center of 39? I look right? This seems wrong. Oh. Well, it's done now. A little spit shine on there, you know what I mean? Clean it off with my... It's very important you make a good seal, you know, so it doesn't leak straight onto my forehead when I'm trying to sleep in here.
Are you sleeping in it again?
I hope not, but you never know. This is the serious stuff here, dude.
No, it's not. It's equivalent of like 4,200.
After all the fiberglassing we've done here lately, we could have just constructed a brand new cap. All right, we've got a couple threads left on this nut, but it's an exceptionally large nut, so I think it's gonna be all right. All right, well, we can check that off the list. Now I'd like to get it off of here with our new hook. I know, crazy, but clean it. I'll probably scrub my truck bed out. I also try to stick this wooden thing back together. I'd like to throw some caulk in the seams of that because it was leaking a good bit.
You better find your own caulk to do that then.
Good measure, I know.
It's like $30 a tube.
I got plenty. I got freaking...
Let's use some window caulk.
That's what I was gonna use. Door and window.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't find truck cap caulk, so door and windows. It is.
Good enough to get out.
Fork extensions. Last year I tried to lift this thing up while it was still attached to my truck. That went pretty well. Just in case we end up scratching the whole plan and just picking it up with the fork extensions, which is possible, but I'm remembering now that when I picked up with the forks, I think it lifted the bobcat up. For some reason, after leaving this thing outside, uncovered, for 365 days, it's developed gaps, which which is bizarre. But anyway, I just prepped them with my wire brush, and all the rest of the dirt we can just paint over later. So I should have done this when I built the thing. It would have been far better and easier, but if you remember, I was literally building this on the back of my truck in the pouring down rain. The caulk literally wouldn't stick. Also, when I built this, I was running out of deck screws, so there's not a whole lot in here. Don't worry, these are all things we can fix with more caulk. Caulk and paint, make her what she ain't. Oh no. Yeah, more caulk, that's the answer. We are gonna take advantage of this really nice day out and do some work to the new boat. My trip to Florida is coming quickly, and we do not have many nice days. We don't have much time. So I was working on the Desperado this morning. I was working on crab pots this morning. Been running around like crazy. We're gonna try to finish out the day doing some wiring work on this. A little bit of a mess under here. It's all things that...
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of bit of mess, but there's some things that we can clean up. We got some Amazon parts and whatever else. Well, they're nice stuff. We just got it from Amazon. Start working on it. This is a lot more Riley's expertise here. He worked on boats. He was a head mechanic at a dealership. He's a Suzuki mechanic. He still works on boats. You can hit him up. Yamahas, Suzukis. Aren't you like Merc Cruiser certified or something too? But he don't want to work on any IOs. He likes doing oil changes on outboards now. And this is the opposite of what I'm familiar with. I'm used to like an 8D battery and 2 big cables and bypassing stuff to make it work to go to work. But we're gonna try to do it right on this boat because it's actually a nice boat and it's got a lot of trinkets, a lot of electric trinkets that need worked on. It's pretty common when you buy like a used boat, especially an older hull that's got a lot of accessories, like modern accessories. A lot of times guys do the work themselves, but they kind of stack stuff. So like one year they'll get power poles, one year they'll get electronics upgraded, trolling motor, all that kind of stuff. And so they're just kind of adding to it instead of doing it all in one go, which there's really nothing wrong with that. But when you buy somebody else's thing that they've been working on, they know it and I don't. So we're gonna kind of undo some of this stuff, try to clean it up, and then hopefully I'll be a lot more familiar with the systems on this boat, the wires and whatever, because right now it just looks like a mess of red wire and zip ties. I don't know where to start on this. Riley's gonna figure it out as we go.
I'm sitting back and watching. I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Whatever, fine with me. I gotta learn how to do it right sometime. So.
Yep, I got a plan.
You do? So
Yeah.
Start with Arnie's and end at the bar?
Every Friday we start with drinking. I end up cutting your seats in half.
Yeah.
No, but the best way to do it is, it's tedious, but just one wire at a time. You go through it, figure out what it is, you move it, either zip tie it out of the way, and before you know it...
It's not as complicated as it looks.
It's not, and it starts to look more of a mess, but all of a sudden everything starts coming together. Because as you said, like things kept stacking, like, I don't know if you showed this yet, like that's a huge no-no.
Yeah, that's...
You don't want that,
that's,
or that in particular.
That looks like a Luke fix there.
Ideally, you want 2 things on a battery. Your main power wire going to the battery switch, and the always hot power wire for a float switch. Besides that, you should have nothing on a battery.
Yeah, in this boat, like, when the batteries are hooked up, everything's live. There's no cutoff switch, the console power, or anything like that. So it's like, we're gonna put in a switch and clean some other stuff up. Back here with the pump, it needs some work as well. This is a hose, but yeah, I mean, it's messy in here. There ain't no 2 ways around that. To me, this looks like a job I would never in a million billion years ever want to take. I mean, oh my gosh, it's honestly panicking me, well, looking at it even. But Riley looks at this and it's like, not the end of the world. I look at that and I'm like, holy crap, there's like 18 things on that one power post. That's a ground post, but...
Well, I look at that the same way, like that is a problem. But I say give us 2 hours, because I'm thinking back from all the times I had to do this. You zip tie everything this way, you start zip tying, then you're gonna go through a lot of zip ties because you're gonna put it one way, then realize you don't like it and keep changing it, but one wire at a time, it'll clean up.
All right, it's been a couple hours. Starting to kind of make some sense of it, I guess. But I'll tell you what, it still looks like a mess. But most of this stuff is labeled and I just got to start making sense of it. I'm gonna try to daisy chain these lights together instead of just this big wadded mess. It's like a lot of wire. It's pretty intimidating. How's it going over here, Riley?
It's going. I gotta keep going up to you every 2 seconds, so it's a little slower.
Come on now. All right, it's day 2 of working on the new boat. We're getting somewhere with the wiring. Riley is cleaning up a lot of this area back here. So, do you guys remember what this looked like?
It looks worse now.
Well, wiring's gotta look worse before it looks better, I guess.
Yeah.
He made these kind of little looms. He's getting rid of a lot of wires. That's how you know he ain't no crab. He's wearing gloves to do wiring.
Because there's no freaking soap here to wash your hands off with.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
It's just Dawn dish soap.
There's not even Dawn here.
It's in the boat. So I'll give you an example of like something I've done. So in here, there's 6 courtesy lights on the outside of the console. And before, each light had a positive and negative running from the light to that bus bar up there, and then a wire going to the switch. That is a serious amount of wires for these little tiny LED lights. So I'm just making a little harness, daisy chaining the lights together, and then pinning the wires up. Just trying to like make some sense of everything. There's like way too many wires in here. There's no need to be 12 wires for 6 lights. Now we narrowed those 12 wires down to just 2 wires. I'm doing the same thing with the cigarette lighters in here. It's just slow. I'm learning it right now, so. Gotta get back in there. Hopefully we can have this boat done by the end of the day. And maybe I'll take my wife to dinner on it because it's really nice out. And Riley. You just close your eyes to save his glasses.
So while Luke's doing who knows what to get ready for his trip, I'm going to be doing the final touches on his new boat, the Sea Pro. One of the things is the fuel gauge. The fuel gauge does not work. It always reads empty. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about how to diagnose your own fuel gauge yourself. Your fuel gauge works off ohms, and it works off a 33 through 240 ohm reading, which 33 ohms is full, 240 ohms is empty. If you guys are having trouble with your fuel gauge, it can be one of 3 things. It can be the gauge itself, it could be the wiring, or the sender. 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be the sender, but you always wanna double check before you start throwing parts at it. On this boat, the sender is down in here. It was a lot crustier than what you currently see. So you disconnect the wires from it, put your ohm meter, volt gauge, whatever you wanna call it, check the reading. But on this one, we were getting bogus readings, kilo ohms, mega ohms, all sorts of ohms. So that leads me to believe the sender is bad. Another way you guys can check though, so when you have the ends disconnected, you're gonna have one red, one black. If you take those wires and touch them together, if your fuel gauge goes the full, that means your wires go into the fuel gauge and your fuel gauge itself are both fine. Fuel gauge right there, it's reading E, even with the sender connected already. But I'm gonna touch the wires here in a second and you'll see it go the full. So what that tells me is the sender is in fact bad. So we're gonna replace it. So that's your fuel sender right there. It's also a good idea if you have any junk on top of your tank, try cleaning around it so you don't end up with all that stuff just falling right into your tank. You know, your fuel filter should catch it. Today's fuel, that's the #1 killer on boats. I like to use hand tools, especially on stuff that may or may not strip out. That way you can feel if it's gonna strip out. Not much you can really do, but at least you can feel it. Make sure you do this when your gas tank's full, so you spill gas everywhere too. Don't actually. I know it's hard to tell when your fuel tank's full or not, when your gauge doesn't work, but if you just filled it up and you haven't used the boat, it's probably not a good idea to do the sender right then and there. Yeah, it looks like she's seen better days. It could potentially be the original one to the boat. Our kit comes with a new base washer, all new bolts. It has this piece in there, and you can cut these rods and just slide it together, and it allows you to change the length of it. They pivot like that. Instead of some of the centers that go straight up and down. Right there's the back of the gas tank. You want to make sure when you install it, it has room to swing. Like you want to swing forward, you don't want to swing that way or else you're not going to get good readings. You also want to make sure that this float sits sideways to get the most accurate reading. You don't want to just send the screws in there. The logic of, oh, 4 screws good enough, and you'll get water in your tank. That's why I'm doing this, not Luke. Make sure while you're doing this, you're doing it right over top the tank, so anything you drop will go right into your gas tank. Water reading.
3/4.
Perfect.
Dang, son.
Sometimes I know what I'm doing. Not all the time, but sometimes.
That's good enough for me because I don't know what I'm doing most of the time.
I got new turbo torches.
Oh, sweet.
You know what you're not supposed to do? Use an open flame near your gas tank. You know what I'm gonna do? Use an open flame near your gas tank.
That reminds me, I gotta do something over here.
What do you gotta do?
Not be next to that gas tank.
Oh, okay. I'll show you guys how to do it the safest, unsafe way possible. I typically never do this, but only because you guys are watching. And if I do blow up, there'll be video evidence for insurance. Want your flame away from the tank too. Keep the flame small. Don't use like a MAP gas or acetylene torch or anything. We survived. We're done. Fuel sender's in there. Check if the fuel gauge works. Oh, look at that.
All right, it's been a couple days. This is what we got, which is a far cry from what we started with. Now I'm just hoping that it actually works. so they don't have to start cutting it all apart. But something is bound to not work, but we'll see. We'll see what we got. Now we got to clear everything out of here, get batteries, but now at least we have space. Look at this. Before, this was a tight spider web of freaking wire. All right, so I leave for Florida in 48 hours. So Riley and I are gonna haul the boat out now, and we're gonna do like a once over on everything, an oil change, and change the separators and all that. Riley, do you think before we put it on the trailer, we should check the bearings of the trailer without the weight of the boat? All right, I got the stare, so that means you should have told me that 5 minutes ago. My truck, unfortunately, I just took into the shop yesterday because I started smelling coolant in my 6.7. It needs an EGR cooler, which is really a bummer. So I was like, dang, we're about to go on vacation and spend $2 grand on an EGR cooler. Gotta love a diesel. I'm telling you, if you don't need a diesel, don't buy one. I probably don't really. I could get away with a gas truck, but I got a good deal on it mostly. And it's nice to be able to move whatever I want, whenever I want. Riley is an actual like Suzuki certified mechanic, R&M Marine. So he's got like all the parts on hand and whatever else. So he's gonna show us how to do like a basic service, I guess. What we're gonna do, oil change,
Gear
lower
oil.
unit,
Yep.
oil, and then fuel water separator.
Yeah.
Seems to be totally okay, but we're just gonna do it because it's here and just wanna be safe before we go. I know for a fact that doing all this preventative maintenance is gonna ensure that I have a problem by the time I get to Florida. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I'm not bringing any tools to Florida.
Yeah.
Step one. There's another one up front you got to get. And we are not in the boat ramp because we're going to leak all the oil.
A, I don't usually keep boats long enough to change the oil. And B, I've never had anything nice enough that I've wanted to change the oil. So besides my crab boats. So this is all new for me.
So step one, we're going to pull the side. I call them side chaps. Let me get the tools for that.
So we got to pull the side cowlings off?
Yeah, it's super easy. You haven't graduated to using power tools yet, so I'm not going to let you.
I wouldn't let me. See, at R&M Marine, they make you do your own work. Mm-hmm. You're just paying for the supervision. Honestly, that's a good business, man. I bet people would totally pay you to teach them to come do oil changes and stuff.
The problem with that is I'm so impatient and I get frustrated. I probably tell them like,
I know, but you just charge them like 3 times as much for
Yeah.
one oil change, and then you show them how to do it themselves, and then they're not bugging you about
yeah.
it.
So each one of these bolts is double threaded, so you just want to make sure you can move them around.
So they won't come actually out.
Yeah. Well, you can sometimes force them to come out, but no, they should stay in there. Now, it's going to be a little stuck, so you got to use more force to get it off that you're comfortable with after you double check and make sure they have all the bolts loose. That one don't feel loose.
When do we get a hammer and just start beating on it?
It's stuck on rubber because our rubber's dry. We're going to grease it with rubber. Oof. There we go. Then right here gets stuck, so we're going to peel that off. And make sure you put that paint side down on the...
On the asphalt?
Yeah, on the
Okay.
asphalt.
All right, we'll drag it around. It would make me feel better about having it.
Don't even put it there.
You just said to put it on the concrete. I just did.
That was a joke.
Whatever, this guy.
We're going to suck the oil out because I'm lazy. And if you drain from there, it makes a huge mess. And plus that bolt already looks half stripped out. I don't even mess with those.
Oil looks that's pretty good.
Oil on outboards doesn't really get black because you change it so much.
You change it so much.
Well, you're supposed to do it every 100 hours.
Stick that in the sand so you get that in there.
Stick this down in there. It's like old cartoons in Dynamite. Yep, slowly and surely. It'll probably honestly take about 20 minutes.
Really? Make sure you start it up with no oil just to make sure it'll run. I'm just kidding, don't do that. We're gonna put new oil in this thing. It's crazy, I know. What's next, the lower unit?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, and a third one on the bottom. You fill it up from the bottom. This one is how you check your oil level, and this top one is the vent. A true way that you're supposed to do it is fill it up from here, leave the center one in, let the oil come out from there, put them all back in, then pull this one out to ensure it's at least to that level. I usually skip that step. I just fill it up till it gets up there, let it burp for a while. Make sure you use a nice screwdriver that's big, or else those things will strip out.
So beat whatever flathead you have into the hole and then...
Yeah.
See folks, you could do this yourself at home. Don't even need to pay Riley. Put that in the sand, right?
And now undo the very top one.
Wow. Usually by the time I'm trying to do this on outboards, every screw is stripped, the thing's 35 years old, and it's like the oil is milk. Gaskets look fine, Riley. You sure we need to replace them?
Yeah. I want to watch you struggle to get the gaskets off before I tell you how to get them off. Take a knife, and you kind of slice under it, and then you slice through it. And make sure you slice your finger.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Are you getting oil all over my nice tools?
I'm trying.
Thanks.
Might need that gasket. I wouldn't throw it out.
Yeah, put it in your pocket.
Ooh. Drop it down the boat ramp. Always do it in the boat ramp too, so that, you know, any of the parts you have roll down the boat ramp into the water. Ooh, see, that's why you should do it in the ramp.
What are you doing?
I'm covered in freaking oil, dude.
Now you're just doing it for entertainment.
No, I'm not. I'm just covered in oil.
Oil filter.
Usually what I do is I take a punch or a hammer and another hammer. I just put it on there, pop, a hole in the filter so it all drains out. But maybe it's not necessary here. I don't know. Ooh, I like this. This is a familiar tool. extra large
Hold
hammer.
on, before you get all wild, pull this out of your way. Shove a couple rags down in there. My old t-shirt collection. These are the Luke McFadden shirts.
And like this?
Yeah, let the Lucy ready tell you, make sure you, when you twist it, you break stuff. Are you watching, see if it's gonna drip oil everywhere?
It's
Look.
dripping oil everywhere.
Okay, so you catch the oil.
Okay.
And just hang 10 for a little bit.
All right.
So now, nope, you gotta be creative.
Perfect. Look at that. Dude, this guy. That's why you pay him the big bucks.
Oil filter. Put a little bit of oil on that.
On the... Last time I did this, people were in the comments, don't do that, so you get them stuck. That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, get them stuck is over tightening them.
So what do you use to get this thing tight?
Your hand.
You just hand tighten it?
That's the only thing you should ever tighten a filter with is your hand.
Really?
Until the gasket touches in 1/2 to 3/4 return. There's actually instructions on most oil filters that tell you that.
Well, I've never read the instructions on any oil filter, so that makes sense.
Checks out.
Can't really get any tighter in my hand. It's probably fine, right?
Yep. Let me grab some spray 9. So not distance you get
You're
on
like
that thing.
spray 9 bay, dude.
Here's an oil-soaked rag if you want to use it for cleaning it up.
Look at that, shiny. That's full.
Yeah. Pull this up. Break the suction. Let the hose drain. Or else it's gonna make a mess. All right, now we can probably go back to the gear oil. You should be used to that pump from the Yamaha BC. I typically take this, wrap it around, stick it somewhere over there so it won't drip. I need to go dump this.
Just dump it down the ramp.
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
kidding.
dump it.
No,
Yeah.
we don't do that. See, it was not an accident that I bought a Suzuki, and Riley is a Suzuki mechanic and happens to have all the parts in his truck because he does these, works on these things all the time. Actually, mostly what he does, he said, is oil changes because nothing really goes wrong on them. Right, Riley?
Yeah, nothing breaks. But you're about to do something to change that.
Have to hit him up. Check it out. R&M Marine. Find him on like probably Facebook or something. He is a picky mechanic, but he's good. I tell you what, he doesn't like dirty boats. He doesn't like old boats. He doesn't like anything with an inboard or an inboard outboard, which I don't blame him. He won't work on out drives, but if you have a Suzuki or a Yamaha, he's also Yamaha certified. Give him a ring ding. He's in Pasadena. Mobile mechanic.
4-stroke only.
4-stroke.
Newer only. It's a hunk of junk and you're broke. I won't work on it.
Told you. He's picky.
All right, what did we not do on your oil filter?
Write a date on it.
Correct.
He actually has got me in the habit of doing it. Usually, I just
like
I
it.
know every 25 days on the crab boat, I have to do a oil
Which is
change.
surprising because every time I've seen you do the oil change, which is once, you don't know how to do it. You're confused half the time.
What do you mean?
I'm
I
like-
do it all the
I'm like-
time.
That's the problem. Like, shouldn't you be pretty good at it?
Yeah, you just, well, half the time the filters are stuck on because you got to tighten, you got to put some torque on them because they'll leak.
Yeah, but we put them on hand tight last time. They've been fine, so we're going to check up on them.
Fair enough.
Fuel water separator.
All right.
Let me guess, you don't have one.
No.
Let me guess.
You do.
Yeah, let me guess, you need one.
That looks like it hasn't been changed in a very, very, very long time. This thing basically takes your fuel from the tank, runs it through that before it hits the motor, and somehow some kind of magic witchcraft goes on inside of that gets the water out of the fuel. All right, so Riley, another pro tip, said vent your gas tank, crack the gas cap, because if your boat's been sitting in the sun and it's not vented, there'll be pressure in there, and then when you crack that, it'll spray fuel everywhere, which is sounds familiar. I've done that a lot of times. All right, another pro tip. He said what we're not going to do is just slap the filter back on there, which seems weird to me, but he said it will airlock the fuel system. So he's going to fill it 3/4 of the way up, then we'll put it on. It's on there. These are not specific to this motor. These are specific to the housing. So don't be like, oh, I got a 200 and it doesn't fit. These are specific to the housing, which is this aluminum bit. What's next?
Squeeze your primer bulb. Last thing you want to do is send the customer down the boat ramp and they don't fire. Can't release all my secrets.
A pro tip.
Funnel. See that little breather hose right by the fill? Put that breather. Well, let's show you what happens if you don't. Just put that funnel in there. See how it sits downwards? If you have a different kind of funnel, it can fall. Now move that breather on the other side of the funnel. No, not that one. The one that's right above the funnel.
This one?
Yeah. Let's pick the funnel out. You pull it down, now put the funnel in there. It holds the funnel up. I've seen on the short, stubby funnels, they'll fall over and it'll drip oil everywhere.
How much?
Yeah, probably 1.5 to 1 3/4 of these.
The good stuff, dude. Highfalutin stuff in this jar.
$40 a gallon.
Oof. Yikes. When do we get to the part where I spill it everywhere?
30 more seconds.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna crack this valve.
Yep. Ooh. No, you're good. Let it go slow, because see all our bubbles are still coming.
Crack the valve? Mm-hmm. This thing only holds a quart, but you're gonna need 2, because you need like a quart to be able to bleed all the air out.
You gotta pull your cotter pin out.
What?
That is not used for that.
Yeah, it is.
No, not mine.
Put it on there and
Not my
beat it
$40 screwdriver. Nope.
Well, what do you use?
Exactly.
Oh, there we go. This is my speed here. We got the rusty hammer, baby. She already broke in. Come on.
Watch out. Get out.
Oops. This guy. Why was that not tighter? Usually,
No, that's as tight as it gets. It's tight as you're supposed to have it.
usually to get a prop off, I'm beating it off of my big boat, wail on it with a freaking sledgehammer, laying under the boat and covered in barnacles and gravel.
Nope.
Dang, even AJ knows.
Yeah.
Wow, shocking. Came right off.
Yeah.
Drop this.
Drop it, yeah.
Okay.
Drop it in the water too. All right, now you're gonna pull that
Looks
thrust washer
fine.
off, and let's see if it comes off.
Nope.
Perfect. I was hoping it wouldn't, so I can show you my trick.
This guy, he's got all the tricks.
We'll see how this tool works.
Better be a hammer.
Make sure you
What's
hold
this
it,
thing? Wrench?
just in case I had to get more room. All right, you want it right under there. Make sure you put on the bolt. One good pop, should pop.
Son of a gun. Why'd you have me hold this? Just to give me something to do?
Yeah, this
All
thing's
right.
old. I like this thing. I've had this forever.
Yeah, it looks like that freaking head's about to fly off.
And it actually has been like that forever. Probably had this for like 15 years. It won't go off. Any fishing line on there?
No.
All right,
Oddly
clean the
enough,
grease off.
there
Put new
isn't.
grease on it.
All right, what do I do with it?
Wipe the grease off. Put new grease on it.
Do you have any grease?
I just had that small stuff in a tube. I think I got a couple tubes.
Now I can check the shop.
Nah.
Might be antique grease though.
Wait, hold up. I think there's mercury grease in the shop. Some of the good stuff.
I don't like the Suzuki mechanic attitude as much as the Yamaha mechanic.
I know Riley's son, the certified Suzuki mechanic I flew in from China, was way more fun. He used a lot more hammers, a lot more tools I was far more familiar with. This guy's like, do it right. Don't use my expensive screwdriver.
Of course we're going to do it the wrong way.
Yeah. Probably should have worn gloves. Yeah. I don't really like gloves. I don't believe them.
Guys.
Yeah, we're Yamaha guys. We don't wear gloves.
All right, this stuff should do. Everett Johnson.
This is Johnson grease.
Yeah, so put on your Johnson.
So what, I just greased the whole thing, or?
No. Just put your grease in there. A little bit around there. Swipe there and get all the threads. I think it was 03 through 06, I think it was, or maybe 04 through 06. The Johnson 115s and 140s were just Suzukis. Make sure you get in all the threads.
I'm not usually a lube guy.
That's why all your props get stuck.
You must have found this in the shop. 'Cause
I
you'd be
did.
like, don't use too much grease. It's
Yeah.
expensive. If you do it with your left hand, does it feel the same? Properly lubed. No. And then prop. Put the wheel back on. That joker.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
Oh,
I know he's about to make me replace the cotter pin.
I would if I had a bunch of them.
How
I
tight?
always replace mine.
Pretty much tight as you can get it, but you have to get it to where the pin can line up with the castle nut. Hold up, here's a block of wood right here.
Ain't gonna work.
It says it right in the owner's manual.
Well, if that's the case, then. Oh, nailed it. I've done that trick with my boat too, but usually it's an 8x8 that I gotta jam
Yeah.
in there and hold it with my leg while I'm trying to beat the freaking prop off with a sledge.
Does it make sense why I don't work on big boats?
No, I never had any doubt in my mind. I knew I don't. I don't want to do it. It's that pin.
What'd you do?
You had it, because you pulled it out. You're like, yeah, I got it.
Dang it, did I really?
Yeah. This guy.
No, I definitely gave it back.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Did not. You had it in your fancy pliers. You pulled it out. You waved it in my face, and then you lost it.
AJ, rewind. Where did I put it? Dang it, I didn't want to give you a new one, but I should have new ones.
Just put it on my tab. He's gonna bill me for this. I know it.
But why give you a semi-used one?
I'll jam a nail in there.
No, I'll
and
give
bend it
you,
over.
just because I like you,
Threatened.
brand new OEM Suzuki one. Watch it not even work.
It does.
Yep, that is OEM. That's about $2. Put the long side face up.
Don't bend the top side?
No, only have to bend the top side. I just only
Okay.
bend the top side because that's all you need. If you bend the bottom down, it just makes it harder to take back
Yeah.
off.
Okay. Sweet. Or anything else actually?
Trim it down, and we got to put that side piece back on. Yeah, make sure you get all the water inside of here too. So the people at the dump kick me out.
We gotta grease the seal, bro.
Have we made it to that point yet?
Well, yeah, we're about to put the cowling back on.
We're at that point.
Oh, he's always right.
Pro tip. Don't leave this pressurized. Found out way too many times when you walk back into work the next day and there's a gallon of gear oil on the floor. So you ready to reset your oil reminder?
I am.
All right, so you're gonna turn the key on, don't start it. Pull the safety lanyard out 3 times and put it back in.
Is this real or are you just...
No, I swear.
1, 2, 3. And
Put it back in. Hear that other beep? Turn the key off. Done.
Really?
Yep. It won't go off for another 100 hours now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So when it does go off, is it an alarm or is it just a...
It's your oil light will come on. It'll scare the poop out of you.
Oh. Wow. Hey, we made it further than I thought.
Yeah. Ready for Florida.
Ready for Florida. Thanks, R&M Marine.
Mm-hmm.
I found this broken grill in the attic. Decided it would be really nice in Florida to be able to have a grill on the boat. So I took it all apart, sanded it all, actually got it working. Threw some self-tappers in it, made it nice. Got this pole, welded a nut on the end. I'm gonna mount it, I think, in the bow and have this thing below the deck. Something like that to catch the bottom. Hopefully it doesn't take up like a load of room. So I'm gonna be rattling around in the boat the whole time.
You know, we have like 4 jigsaws and you picked the worst one.
I like this one. This jigsaw does suck.
Central pneumatic one?
Black & Decker.
Oh, even worse.
Doesn't even work.
You gotta click it a couple times.
Nice. Now I have a bigger piece.
And that stuff really is just straight plastic.
PVC board, I think. It was what I was using as a work table. Then I was like, I gotta find some kind of material I can like easily cut and this. And I was like, oh, the table. So now I'm just using the table. Problem is when you cut it with something like that, it's like it melts the stuff on here. Hit it with a grinder or something. Boom, boom, like that. Mount that in there. If you don't clean your grill with a grinder, you ain't no crabber. Oh wow, look, it's actually kind of shiny.
I got some polish in the truck.
We don't want to polish it. I don't want anybody to steal it. Look at that. We don't need no polishing. Boat grill. Cleaned all the bees nests out of it, threw some self-tappers, did a little zap welding it back together. Second life.
It only took you all day.
I'm even gonna, it's probably dumb to even put this on there. So I'm gonna probably just take it
It's going to
back.
be dumb until you lose the lid in the water.
The lid flies off. I'll be doing 30 knots, dude, with this freaking grilling snappers. Check it out. Come on. Let's see. Let's test it. Look at the bottom of the boat, and there's just 4 screws down through the bottom of the bow. Just throw some 5200 on it.
That's what CJ would do.
CJ wouldn't spring for the 5200. Check it out. The pole has a little bit of a bend to it, so to counteract the fact that I misaligned the thing on the bottom, you just spin it around till it's like even enough. Bro, check it out.
Sitting here flipping stuff, flipping burgers.
Dude, that's sick. Look at that. That's freaking awesome.
It's at knee height, so you might get some backache problems. But
No, not if you stand back here. I thought about this, Riley. Look,
with double long spatula.
right, we're good.
So how am I going to sit here and critique you, though?
I'll just move over.
Oh, we both could stand down here. Okay.
Look at that, bro. That's freaking awesome. Look at that. From rags to riches, from attic trash to boat trash. It's beautiful. I love it. It'd be nice if that thing had a little, you know what I mean?
We can make it. Put a self-tapper right through the side.
Like I was thinking about on an angle on that little thing there, then it'll hang. Boom! And then look at that. When you're done with it, pull it up. Unscrew the pole. Stick this somewhere. This is also good for like something else. If you got a shark, you can, you know what I'm saying? This will store in one of those. And then I don't know where the heck this grill's gonna go, honestly. Oh, good. That thing will be banging around up there in the bow all day. No. Come on.
Go like that, now twist it upside down.
Oh, sick. Riley had to go to school and get a whole engineering degree to tell me that. No. How did I get it in there? Ah, I got it. That's a theft deterrent too. Super awesome. Look at this, we've improved on the already perfect design. I put a 1/4 on there. It's flawless. Truly maybe one of the greatest things I've ever built. If you have this grill, let me know. Was there some kind of plate that went over these holes that you could like adjust the heat? I don't know, not on this one. All the little rusty bits. Need a way to hold my cooler in. Bent these stainless things around to make a hook. Stick that in there. Your little bungee. Little quick connect action. Boom. Like that. Keep my cooler in place. All right, got my hook. Got some bungee. Holds the cooler in. Genius is almost startling sometimes. That's kind of nice. mean, obviously there'll be weight in there most of the time, but. Well, we're gonna take her out. It's March 4th. It's also my birthday. So all I wanted was to be done with that wiring job. So we're about to find out if we are done with the wiring job. I'm excited. It's kind of warm. It was like 60 today. It's probably like 50 now. It's gonna be like 40 out there. We gotta take her for a rip. Well, we made it. Made it to Hard Yacht. Have a couple birthday drinks. Boat was awesome. Most of the things work. We forgot to tighten down a negative terminal, so when we hit a bump, music cuts off a little bit, but that's all right. And other than that, get ready to take it to Florida. Appreciate you guys making it to this far into the video, and I have something for you guys that you guys can also help me with. One of my goals is to hit 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel this year. So like by the end of this crabbing season, so around November, but preferably sooner. The way you guys can help is you can subscribe, turn notifications on, share this video with a friend or whatever, and for some incentive, I'm gonna be picking a subscriber every month, old or new subscriber, every single month, and we're gonna be sending them a box from Jimmy's that has 4 of my fresh Maryland meat crab cakes in it. It's got 6 bags of chips. It's got 2 things of the new soup and a couple other goodies in there. And all you have to do to enter is subscribe, and we're gonna be choosing one random subscriber, old or new, and somebody is actually gonna get this box of Jimmy's food once a month. Once we hit 1 million subscribers, we're gonna do something pretty cool. I'm gonna give away a brand new boat. It's a pretty cool boat. It is very versatile. It's a brand new 14-foot John boat with a brand new trailer with a brand new Yamaha BC 9.9 on the back, just like the ones that you guys have seen us torture test in all kinds of different scenarios. Honestly, pretty reliable. I thought it'd be a super cool thing just to be able to like give one away when we hit 1 million. You guys can help me out. Subscribe, turn notifications on. You guys are the reason that I've accomplished pretty much all my other goals here. And you guys have been along to watch me come up with them and accomplish them. So this is one more. I know we can do it. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next Friday at 8 a.m.